Hey guys, so today I'm going to do a little review on The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I'm honestly not completely sure how I feel about this book, so forgive me if this review isn't quite as good as some of my other reviews. I have had a little bit of trouble trying to put my thoughts together on what I feel about this, but hopefully it at least makes some bit of sense and is a good enough review. So basically it's about a girl named Esther Greenwood who gets this summer internship at this kind of famous magazine in New York City, but when she goes to do the internship, she doesn't really have that great of a time there. She doesn't participate in really any of the activities that are planned for her and the other girls that are participating in this internship, and she just doesn't really seem to want to have anything to do with it, doesn't really seem to like being a part of it. And the beginning of the book kind of goes through her experiences at this internship. It kind of goes through the people that she meets and comes into contact with and the things that go on while she's there. And then she goes back home and she's kind of hoping to do this other thing that she's been wanting to do, this writing course run by this famous author that she really likes, and she really wants to be a part of this writing course, and you have to apply for it and get in, and she basically finds out that she doesn't get in, and it really upsets her, and she ends up not really knowing what to do with her summer because she was kind of counting on getting into that little writing program. And so she just doesn't really know what to do with herself. She kind of feels like she wants to write a novel, but she doesn't feel like she has enough life experience to write about the things that she wants to write about. And she feels like she doesn't want to go off and do the things that she perceives to be her other options, and the other options that as a woman she feels like society has given to her. She has this on and off again boyfriend that everyone kind of feels like they might as well be engaged already, but she doesn't want to marry him. She kind of hates him a lot. She doesn't want to be a mother. She doesn't want children. She doesn't want to go off and work some stereotypical job that she feels only women do. She just doesn't want to get trapped in all of those things. And she feels a sort of annoyance towards the freedoms that she feels that men have over women, who have to worry about getting pregnant and being in the stereotypical role of mother and good wife and everything. She basically becomes depressed and can't sleep at all, and she ends up going to a psychiatrist because her mother wants her to, and it doesn't really work out very well. And I don't want to give too much away because there's not a whole lot that happens. I will basically just say that the book kind of goes through her descent into a more complete depression and her experience with that, and her thoughts on suicide, and her experience in hospitals and with therapy in general. I mean, really the whole book is about her slowly becoming more depressed and how she's trying to get through that depression. So I mean, that's really the best summary I can give of the book without giving a whole lot away, and I really feel like that's really the only summary you need to know going into the book. So basically at the beginning, Esther just, and I know this is gonna piss someone off that likes this book because it's probably not a flattering thing to say, but Esther just reminded me kind of like a female version of Holden Caulfield. I had a really difficult time empathizing with her. She says that she doesn't want to be roped into this lifestyle that all of the girls around her seem to want to be like, and that she feels society tells them to be like, and really society is telling them to be like that, and she doesn't want to be a part of that. But at the same time, she falls into it, and she's a part of it really in a big way without, it seems like, even realizing it. She's really judgmental, she's really superficial, she's really shallow, she can be kind of manipulative, and every time she sees anyone, she immediately describes in great detail what they're wearing and their physical appearance. And when she describes their physical appearance, it's usually something really kind of insulting and some attack on them, really negative. I mean, honestly, the Holden Caulfield comparison isn't entirely accurate because Holden Caulfield would probably call her a phony. And I don't know, maybe that's intentional. Maybe Plath did that on purpose to kind of show that Esther has been so wrapped up in this lifestyle and put into this lifestyle that she has become a part of it internally without necessarily realizing it, maybe subconsciously, and she has all these reactions to people subconsciously. I don't know, but when she started spiraling into depression, I understood why. I got a pretty good grasp on all of the things that she must be feeling towards the way society feels like her life should be. Marriage, child, being a housewife, etc. I mean, I've always personally hated the idea that anyone should feel limited to things like that. So I felt a more definite empathy towards Esther in that regard, but her thought processes are just something I personally didn't feel like I could connect with. I mean, I'm of the opinion that no one's problems should be compared with other people's problems. I mean, other people could say that someone else has it worse, and I mean, everybody just reacts to their own problems in their own way, and everybody's problems are going to affect them no matter who has it worse than them. So it's not like I'm trying to say that she should just suck it all up and move on or something. I'm definitely not saying that, because I feel like I really do get where she's coming from. But overall, her character was just never something I feel like I could click with. And of course, you could say that that's because she's a female living in a completely different time period, and maybe that's right. But I don't think it is. I think that's kind of a cop-out, saying you're a guy and you just don't get it. But I feel like I really could have. I feel like I have a pretty good sense of understanding a wide variety of characters. And I just wasn't feeling it with Esther. And her descent into depression, for the most part, just felt really contrived to me. Not that someone in her situation couldn't be depressed because of those things, just the way it's written, it felt kind of forced and didn't flow naturally for me. I don't know, it might just be me. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe I just didn't get it. I really wanted to get it, but maybe I just didn't. Either way, the book did do something for me. I mean, I hate that anyone, of course, including women, have to feel any weird societal pressure to be some stereotype of a gender. And for women, that would be like motherhood and being a housewife and all that stuff, at least in this time period. I mean, I'm hoping nowadays there are a lot more options out there for people, and that we're kind of moving more towards there being more equality amongst everyone, because no one should have to feel depressed or torn down within themselves only because they don't want to follow what society wants to dictate for them and who they supposedly should be. And I mean, that's what I'm trying to say, is that's where I connected most with the book. I know it's a completely different situation entirely, don't get me wrong, but I feel really similarly about things that society wants from me. I mean, I've been force-fed my entire life what it means to be a man and what's expected of a man. There are things that men are supposed to do, and there are things that men are not supposed to do. And I mean, I'm a very, very emotional person. I'm a very sentimental person, very quiet, very not aggressive most of the time. I can get aggressive when I'm angry, but that's a different story. I feel weird pressures on me to like go out and get drunk, play lots of sports, never show my emotions, treat women like crap, and not care about anything else but having just sex with as many people as I can all of the time. And it's force-fed from movies and TV and ads just constantly. And I just feel like I'm so completely different from all of that. And it does depress me. I've spent most of my life feeling very small, feeling very weak, feeling like I should be in control over my life in a certain way that I'm not, because a man is supposed to be a certain way. And I've always believed that marriage is a partnership that the two people in it should equally contribute to, both from working, making money, to cooking, cleaning, keeping each other happy, and just in general working together, as opposed to one person doing all the things their gender role is supposed to do and the other person doing all the things that their gender role is supposed to do. I guess I just feel this weird difference from everything I've ever been told about what a man should be and how a man should think and feel. I mean, I've always actually connected with girls better. I mean, throughout my life, all of the friends that I've had that are girls, I've always felt were easier to talk to. Not romantically, I'm not even going to go into how awkward and awful I am at that, but in general, I feel like I could connect with people that don't necessarily force themselves to live in a this or that gender role. And I feel like men, even more than women, force themselves to live in a certain gender role more willingly, and I've never really been able to connect with that. I just connect more with people who ignore what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman, and just being the way that you feel is the most comfortable for you to be. And so basically I'm just trying to say that I connected with that idea, the idea that it's really depressing and really shitty to be told by society what you're supposed to be, and how that can lead you to the depression that Esther felt, because society should not dictate what you're allowed to do with your life, and it's depressing to think that we have to feel like we do, have to live within those constraints. So that's where I connected with the book the most. I guess it's just that Esther is not someone I personally liked reading from the perspective of, I guess, which is my main problem that I have with the book, which is why I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. So I know there's probably tons of differing opinions on this from people that have read this book, and that's fine. I welcome that with open arms, perfectly willing to listen to any opinion at all. So yeah, I hope you kind of got the idea of what I was trying to say. I kind of went on a rambling thing that wasn't necessarily a lot to do with the book, but hopefully you understood why I was trying to make my own little personal connection with the book to show why I felt about it the way I did. So anyway, I finished reading We by Evgeny Zamyatin this morning. I'm going to review that. I can't wait to talk about it. I'm going to review that literally right after this. I'll probably upload it like on Tuesday or something. So I'll see you very soon. Thank you for watching.